looking at pushing for our business, embarking on a whole nother level, and regarding just on really both companies I'm looking at. One is, the educational side. I'm going to be really hitting on that. Josh and I have got a lot of things cool we're working on that side of things, and I'm going to be taking it to a whole nother level on that side of things. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, a lot more things are going to be more automated. Okay, we got the university coming out finally, that's going to be coming together. That's a hell of a lot of work. So, but Josh has been helping me on that. We got a lot of cool things, and my big thing is stay focused. Okay, stay totally focused on what I want to accomplish on things. We're building more team members, okay, on the company. Right now, I'm not holding back on that whatsoever at all. We're going to bring in a marketing assistant. We're bringing in additional acquisitions reps. And I've got to have this to accomplish what I want to accomplish, okay? With the wholesale business, where we're wanting to go with that, we're meeting on Friday with those people I was telling you about a little bit, and we're looking at, on that platform side of things. That's a major investment on the business, but I'm looking at potential, of that thing exploding to a whole nother level and actually going into multiple markets. So, there's a lot there, and we've got to have some very high performing people on the team, major A players, to be able to handle that. So we're going to be bringing more people on. There's a lot there going on, okay? So this for myself, so you guys understand, I've got to make some major decisions too, and regarding, how I'm going to have to, and regarding having people involved in different parts of the business, just like what you guys are going through, okay? But, I think about what I've done on the real estate side, and I've been able to remove myself from that a lot. I want to look at more of how I can do that more on the educational side, okay? Then I really want to get it to the point where my personal involvement on the educational side is more in this group with my students in here, so I can spend more and more time engaging with the people in the accountability board and really just pouring that out more and more, and that's really why I want to take it to that side. So, I just want you guys to realize that, anything is possible, okay, number one, and, let's stay on mission. Let's don't make excuses. Don't let that stuff happen, because we got everything out there. I mean, we can look at every excuse out there, okay? I mean, seriously, there's everything, from COVID to, the market's going to be changing. Yes, it's going to be changing, but we should be excited about that, okay? Because it's going to make more opportunity for us. And then, I look at it, and it goes back to, again, the mission. What is the mission, and what is the results that you're going after? And you guys have got to measure that constantly to make sure you're moving towards your results, not away from it, okay? Brandon, I just think about you guys there a little bit. You guys got so much potential on things, but we got to make sure that activity is really moving you towards the results, okay? Not just treading water, okay? And be careful of that, because that's an easy place to get into in business here. And I think a lot of us too, when we come to different meetings and stuff like that, that we see a lot of people doing the different things. They're building the teams and everything else. And I want you to be able to run with that potential, but at the same time, we got to create the revenue, okay? Because no business can survive without the revenue. That's the core thing. We got to make sure that's happening all the time. So, and then, you guys have heard me refer to here recently on our accountability board call, the complacencies that fall in place. Brett, we talked about that some. You guys, especially in a market like this, like I say, right now, it's hot. Stuff you put on the market, boom, it sells. Okay, guys, look, there's a lot of people out there that should not be making money in real estate right now, but they are. Okay, but I can tell you, and I can promise you this, when the market shifts, okay, a huge percentage of them will go bye-bye. Okay, in 2008, in that realm of things, upwards of 90% of the people that I worked with went out of business. Okay, and I really tie this back into several things. And one of the big things I look at is, first of all, looking on our side, we weren't complacent. We were constantly focused on growth and having that growth culture going on in the business. Not just a culture, but a growth culture. Okay? So we had that type, and think about that. So that's something you really want to look at as a growth culture, not just a culture. How do you grow? So don't bring people in that just want to be average. Okay? So, because average what? Sucks. Okay? Okay? Average sucks. So we don't want to be stuck in that rut of things and have surrounded by a bunch of people thinking average, being complacent. You want to constantly be that growth culture on things. So that was a big thing that helped us through that time. Another big thing that I look at too was, even though it was back then, I still had some systems in place and, some team members that were working within the business where other people were trying to do the grind completely. Okay? And what happened is when you think about this, when the market shifts, and if you're constantly doing everything yourself and you're just in the grind mode, okay, that really becomes tough when the market shifts. I mean, that 10x is that. Okay? So that's why, building the team, building the systems out, the cool thing about it is it allows you to pull back. Because a lot of times when you're in the grind, and especially when the market shifts, you don't realize that things are happening until you're down the tube a little bit more. Can you see that? Because you're still caught up in everything. But when you're in a position where you can be running it more as a business and you can pull yourself back a little bit more, see the bigger vision, see how things are going, looking at your KPIs and watching those KPIs on a daily basis, guess what? You can start seeing trends very fast and you can make a quick move and say, okay, I'm going to correct on this because I see things are changing within the marketplace. Okay? And it's a lot easier to do that being in a proactive situation instead of reactive. And so most of those people that went out of business during that time period were all reactive. So what they were doing is they were the old shit factor and they were trying to figure out what to do and it just, boom, collapsed on them. So focus on being proactive and you'll see that when the market shifts and stuff, you'll be prepared. And really what will happen is you'll be able to dominate. Okay, while others are trying to still figure out what's going on, you'll be able to dominate because they're so caught up being on the wheel, the hamster wheel, that they can't see anything else that's going on. Do you understand what I'm talking about, guys? I've seen this happen many times. And again, like I said, I worked with people that were at that time period. I worked with some investors that have been investing for 20 years. But they were caught up in the rat race and they would never take time to work on a business. All they were doing was being a professional deal chaser. And they'd done it every single day and that's all they did and they focused on that. They focused on collecting rent, they focused on running out and doing maintenance calls and stuff like this on their tenants and things like that. They were completely blindsided when this thing came. You have a choice, okay? Run it as a business or not, okay? That's your choice. I can tell you my choice is definitely run it as a business. Because if you run it as a business, it allows us to be able to see that and be able to, really see what's coming and then we can make moves in the business. So, I guess that's, really I wanted to share here today. I definitely appreciate every one of you guys coming here.